So, life can be filled with a lot of interesting experiences, and I had one last fall. Been thinking about a lot. I live in Colorado, and my partner and I, Dina, went to the mountains for a couple of days to sit in some hot tubs. So we get to the little town late in the evening and have a nice dinner. Get up the next morning, go over early, and we're one of the first 5 or 6 people there. Put on our swimsuits and robes and head to the first pool. It's a little cool, so we moved around and we went down a little bit to the next pool. This pool was a lot warmer, and I think it's because they were still, getting it fixed from the day, or for the day, rather. So get in the pool, 3 steps down, rail in the middle. It's about 35 feet across. So I sat down at the edge, and I'm looking at the water, and from the angle, the top of the water is black. It's just the way the water's hitting it, solid black. It's really beautiful. And the mist is dancing across it like a little army of ghosts. That's kind of neat. So I'm enjoying that. And then the sun is kind of hitting my eyes a little harshly. So I get up and I move to the far side of the pool. And Dina came with me and we sat down over there. And I'm sitting in water about, halfway up my chest. And again, I look down across the way and the water is still, that surface is misty black or shiny black. It's beautiful, mist across it. But I look down and I see, from the angle of the diffractions, I see the shimmering of the light in all these different colors. It's really nice. And then I notice it turns into like jungle leaves and flowers. Really pretty. Cool. And then I notice it turns into like the Crab Nebula and all the multicolored gas clouds you see in the NASA photos. And it's like, wow, that's neat. And then I realize I'm sort of like on a plane flying through this thing. And a voice in the back of my head said, maybe you ought to get out of the pool. And I thought, that's a great idea. So I tell Adina, I'm going to get out of the pool, sit outside for a minute. So I get up and I start walking across. And by the time I made it to the railing, I literally put my hand on the railing and then I was in black. Switch to Adina's perspective for a second. She hears me say all this, gets up and walk across the pool, and then she sees me go into the water and she's yelling, what are you doing? Is this some kind of a game you're playing? And then she realizes I'm not coming up out of the water. So she comes running across and I'm face down in the bottom of the pool. And she kind of wrestles me around and finally it's able to roll me up and pull me up out of the water. And after a few seconds, then I start breathing again. I sat on the edge of the pool for a few minutes, kind of go out again. And she was with me and she kept me from falling into the water. Then I come back and seemingly fine, get up, sit in a chair, eat some chips, drink some water, chat with her, about 2 hours, and then I left. But here's the kicker. At no time from the time I reached that railing until I was sitting in the chair on the edge of the pool did my consciousness ever go unconsciousness. I was completely conscious the whole time. I found myself in this deep, deep black space, so deep you could feel it, you could sense it, you could taste it, you could touch it. And the peace, the ineffable, undescribable contentment and peace was there. It was beautiful. And then I look off in the distance and I see a light. And this light, it wasn't like a flame necessarily, but it was definitely sort of shimmery, sort of in iridescent colors and flowing. And it's really beautiful. And then I realized that either I'm getting closer to the light or it's getting bigger or it's getting closer to me because somehow I seem to be moving into the light. And I hear a voice over my right shoulder say, don't look too long into the light. And just as I was thinking, that's probably a good idea too, I hear another voice in sort of a exasperated tone say, why are you here? You're not supposed to be here yet. You need to go back. This isn't your time. And about that time, I find myself back in the pool. And I'm sitting on the edge of the steps. And then I go out again. And sitting on the edge of the steps, I go out and I'm sort of, I guess the best way I could describe it is like a particle, a photon in the Large Hadron Collider. I'm spinning at the speed of light around this oval track, and I could literally feel the G-forces pulling me. I could literally feel that pull as I turned the corners on this racetrack. I don't know how long I was there. I guess in real time it was just a few minutes, but it was interesting to say the least. Now I'm up in the chair, sitting beside the pool. I'm eating chips. I'm drinking some soda. I'm talking to Adina. Everything's good, but I can't leave the chair. Now I'm physically able to move. I even stood up once. Then I sat back down because there was nothing in my mind that could construct a scenario such that would allow me to leave that chair. After about 2 hours, somehow I was able to leave the chair. Got up, left, went on, everything was fine. Called my doc, all's good. Went and got checked out, all's good. What was the experience? I'm not really sure I know. It matches up a lot of characteristics with a lot of experiences that other people have had that sometimes are called near-death experiences. All I know is what it's left me with, is an appreciation for life and the time we have here. I know I don't fear death anymore because whatever was on the other side of that light, actually, it looked rather inviting. Okay, well, thanks for watching my little video. I appreciate it. This is about an experience I had last fall. Let me state right up front. Nothing here is given to convince you of, for, or against anything. Any meaning you may find extant is up to you to determine. So, did I have a near-death experience? I don't know. I know I felt closer to the portal then than I had earlier that day, and definitely than I do now. But one of the kind of effects of that experience for me is I get music. I'm a piano player anyway, so it's not surprising that that kind of thing would happen. But I went to bed last Thursday with this phrase of "in the still of the night" in my mind. I get up Friday morning, it's still there. I go to a little men's group Bible study thing. I sit down at a piano and tap out the tune so I get it in my mind. Then I went home to my piano, made a cup of tea, sat down, and 5 hours later got up with this. In the still of the night, dawn's dim light, I felt the sense of my soul as I traveled along where I knew I had gone beyond where I thought I'd go. So, was it a near-death experience? I don't know. I do know that it sensitized me to life, and I don't think that's a bad thing. So if I have any advice to give, it's simply this. As you go throughout your life, don't forget to live every moment of every day. And in the words of the Federation's finest science officer, live long and prosper.